Alright, YouTube's darkest videos 9. We're skipping all the other ones. We're going straight into 9. You just share the Google Doc with us. But like low key, bro, like just the Discord is low key pretty easy. I can probably just put like the invite link in the chat, but if y'all want, should I just do that right now? I'll just put it right now. Hold on. So then we can edit and put what we want. Yeah. All right, there's the Discord. I spent about like 30 minutes on it, so. All right, we got. Is it after this you're doing Blit? Yeah, after this. YouTube's darkest videos 9. So we're skipping all the other ones. We're jumping straight into 9. And do you upload the? Yeah, I upload them on YouTube. So as long as it doesn't get like taken down immediately, yeah. And the thumbnail would be crazy, like the title. I mean, after a few months, I'm very inconsistent. I gotta lock in tomorrow. That's why I want to end like not too late, so I can like get sleep and like lock in for tomorrow. I also gotta start hitting the gym again too. So, all right. Anyways, let's just go straight to the video. YouTube's darkest videos. I have no idea what this is about, but Bear told me to react to this. So, yeah. All right, let's go.
The following video is sponsored by SimpliSave. There's no safe like SimpliSave.
Crowley is good. Yeah, I never heard of this dude. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna take a quick piss, bro. I've been holding it low key for like a while. So give me 1 second. Lights off for this. Should I really do that? Okay, I'll do it. I'm gonna keep the light on like the lights by the monitor though. I'm gonna keep those on, but the actual room light I'll turn off. But give me a second.
Friends with or bear just cheered 1 bits. Greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 8, greater than 8, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, 7, 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, greater than 7, 7, greater than 7, greater than bro had to go potty hair same guy who's mod BTW. Friends with or bear just cheered 1 bits. Remember what horses consider play, monkeys consider business, but to Tom, it's all folly.
Why? What are those? Why did you put bets for that, bro? Missed my shenanigans. I definitely did. All right. Let me turn the light off. All right. I'll just restart it. Lights off for a reaction. I've never done this before. All right, let's go.
The following video is sponsored by Simply Safe. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Sponsored. Wasco train encounter. Is he wearing a mask?
On the morning of March 22nd, 2024, the Kern County Sheriff's Office was flooded with calls
Let me know if the audio is too low, too high, or anything like that on OBS. Let me know.
about an incident that had taken place near the Wasco Amtrak station in Wasco, California. The incident involved a pedestrian who was reportedly walking dangerously close to an active train track before being struck by an oncoming locomotive, a situation that authorities think close to an active train track. The incident involved a pedestrian who was reportedly walking dangerously close to an active train track before being struck by an oncoming locomotive, a situation that authorities knew was likely unsurvivable. Police arrived at the scene shortly after 8 a.m. and were met with the bloody aftermath of the accident, as they found 48-year-old Horacio Ayala Penoza deceased on the tracks, with the force of the impact being so strong that his body was torn apart and scattered all throughout the area.
Bro, we have a train by like where I live, and one of my friends, his profile picture on Instagram back then used to be him standing on the train track, bro. Just like idiot. Bro, like, I don't even know, bro. Like, just an idiot shit.
At first, it was believed to have been a clear-cut suicide, but after interviewing some of the witnesses, police learned that the man had never stepped in front of the
cut out like that?
But after interviewing some of the area,
Why is it
at first, it was
sounding-
believed to have been a clear-cut suicide, but after interviewing some of the witnesses, police learned that the man had never stepped in front of the train, and rather, he had actually been sucked underneath as a result of walking
No,
too
it wasn't with the
closely,
train coming. That
painting
would
a
have been
clearer
crazy.
picture that this was all a tragic accident. But as police were conducting these interviews, one strange detail kept coming up, as apparently, Horatio wasn't the only one on the tracks around the time of the incident, with there allegedly having been one other man standing nearby, a man who took off shortly after Horatio had been killed. And strangely, witnesses believe they saw the man reach down and pick something up before leaving. For the officers on the scene, finding this man
Okay, predictions of what it is. I think the guy somehow put him on the train, but like not like tied up or anything like that. That's just what I think. I don't know if it's true, but like, if I had to guess, that's what I would think.
Came the next obvious order of business. But by this point, he had already found himself a few blocks away, where he was spotted by a group of construction workers. The group watched as the man walked towards them, appearing to hold some sort of large item in one of his hands, the same item that had been taken from the train tracks. And the closer he got, the clearer it became what exactly this thing was. It was a human leg.
So did he pick up his leg? Because like they said it was a bloody mess, and that they found out that it was the guy, but maybe it was his leg they picked up. Oh, is that the leg?
For some inexplicable reason, when the train had dismembered Horatio, this man had run over and picked up his leg, and he was now waving that leg on the sidewalk of a nearby road, with the construction crew claiming that he had been banging it against the fence as he walked towards them, and at one point had even struck the leg against one of their machines. Upon the realization, a wave of fear washed over the...
So we got... I know people are gonna be like, oh, obvious suspect, but like... It's a black dude in a red hoodie.
as they were unsure what this man had done to get this leg, or what he would do next. Though that was something that even the wildest of imaginations could have never predicted.
Awful lighting.
As the man looked down at the leg and began eating.
What do you have me watching right now, bro? I'm over here like, you know, I play games. I play Siege, Kingdom Hearts, all these other games, bro. Listen to music, react to, you know, regular type of videos, and you got me reacting to someone eating a leg. probably bath salts that make people crazy. I think it's, you know, actual
as the workers watched on
you
in
know?
horror.
You know what I mean?
Officers arrived on the scene immediately after this, and when they asked the man what he was doing with the leg, he explained that it belonged to him, and that he was taking it to a nearby hospital to have it reattached. But it was obvious to everyone there that this man wasn't missing any of his legs, with the officers having to go as far as to prove it to him by making him roll up the sleeves of his pants and touch both of his legs. His explanation was completely nonsensical, and obviously didn't account for the fact that he was literally eating the leg just minutes before, leading to officers immediately placing him under arrest.
Smart.
His name was Resendo Taya.
So he wasn't a black dude, okay. He was another one of my kind.
The 27-year-old man who had been experiencing homelessness and had been living on a street near the train tracks, with police determining that he did in fact have nothing to do with the actual death of Horatio. He just so happened to be near the tracks at the time, where he would first witness the accident, and then for some unknown reason, take Horatio's leg and start eating it. It appears as though this was the result of a combination of both drugs and alcohol, as he was found carrying narcotics when he was taken into custody, and he had just been captured by security cameras purchasing alcohol at a nearby liquor.
So alcohol and what else? Like LSD probably. I don't even know, bro. Like he had to be off some crazy stuff.
Liquor store just hours before the incident. But what's so interesting about this footage is just how normal Resendo seems. In fact, the people working there knew him quite well, as he stopped in almost daily, where he was described as being polite and ordinary, including on the day of that incident. In fact, it said that
what state is this in? Wasco? Where's that at? Washington or something? Like, I don't even know where that is. All started with Fears to Fathom. Bro, well no. I was actually, well, I guess I played FNAF 4, or not FNAF 4, FNAF 1 on my very first
being
stream,
polite and ordinary, including on the day of that incident. In fact, it said that at first, the shop owners didn't believe that Resendo could have possibly done this, but it seems that whatever substances he had taken that day had changed him. Resendo Tejas was charged with 2 counts of removal of human remains, and 1 count of destroying or concealing evidence, as well as resisting a police officer, and was sentenced to 1 year in prison after pleading no contest, bringing this absurd case to an end. However, his unsettling behavior will forever live on in one of YouTube's darkest videos.
Fun of Halloween should not include mischief.
What am I looking at right now? 9. Chapter 2 watched. Spooky. I don't know.
It was just past 10 p.m. Safely tucked away in her.
What is this picture? Okay, so just from that so let's cap off what we just seen. Dude was on the train track for some reason, don't really know why. Doesn't say he was tied up or anything. His leg got cut off his body, and this dude started eating it, and he was on some crazy stuff. And is in jail.
Her second-story apartment, 20-year-old Hannah Vivaretti set up her phone to record a video of herself dancing.
20-year-old? Hold on, is she bad? That's my age.
For her, this was a meditative practice, a way of unwinding after a long, stressful day, and to truly feel at peace.
I do it.
But that day, fate had other plans.
Yeah, he was on some Saturn juice. Wait, what's going on?
But that day, fate had other plans. As Hannah was dancing, something off camera caused her to stop.
Was it like a speaker outside that like startled her? Cause like, bro, like when I hear something random like out of nowhere, it scares me.
Dead in her tracks and yell, "Who are you?" It was a man whom Hannah had never seen before, standing in the doorway of her balcony, which again was on the second floor, meaning that man had climbed up, cracked open the door, and was now.
My brother, just another me. I gotta make that a sticker.
Prince with Orbear just cheered 1 bits. Boo.
No, let me.
Standing in her home, staring at her, quietly muttering nonsensically with a big grin on his face.
Crying. Bro, I wish I had a better chair that I can like fly backwards with. Like if I had to like get scared of something.
Who are you? Please get off.
I'm crying.
Hannah stopped the music and again asked, "Who are you?" To which the man responded by saying,
Please get out. No, please get out.
This is some friend, like, fear. No, this is some Fears to Fathom type of stuff, bro. Am I your friend? Like, outside, bro. This reminds me of the Norwood hitchhike one, where the guy is outside of the door and he's like, I'm just trying to get in. Like, y'all know what I mean?
Yes.
But her demeanor and the panic in her voice made it all too clear that this was far from the case.
Who are you? Please get out of my apartment right now.
She started to make her way over to her phone and then towards the front door. All the while, the man kept calmly insisting that they be friends, but Hannah was having none of it.
Please get out of my apartment right now.
Then bangs you. No, bro, that's not what happened in the game, bro. Well, actually, probably, yeah, but they don't show that. But, bro, we finally have someone with actual thinking skills, bro. And all the stuff we've reacted to, they've always just been like, oh, no, I'm going to stay here and, like, you know, call the cops. No, bro. Me personally, when that happens and the front door is open and I know no one's there, I'm bolting, bro. I'm running.
Friends, but Hannah was having none of it.
Please get out of my apartment right now.
Opening her front door and in the process,
get out. Get out.
Pointing the camera directly at the intruder, giving us our first and only glimpse of the man as he's standing still in the balcony doorway. And with her front door now open, she yelled at him to get out, loud enough for the neighbors to hear.
Get out.
Smart. That's smart. That's high IQ, bro. That's smart. You're just trying to get some put, bro. That's not how you do it, bro. I'll walk y'all through it on how to do it after this video. I wouldn't walk back in there, though.
Which finally caused the man to retreat. As it turns out, Hannah did actually know who this man was, at least vaguely, as he lived in the same apartment complex.
The princess and the castle attached it, bro. Come on.
But he never actually spoke to her. He would always just stare and smile, making it apparent that he had some sort of sick interest in her.
Why does that guy have like the same color hoodie as the guy that was eating the leg, low-key? Like they have like a similar color hoodie.
As for why he entered her home that night, it's fairly obvious that his intentions were incredibly sinister, with Hannah recalling that during the entire experience,
he has said that every stream never teaches us his aura full ways. Laughing too hard at that at 2 a.m. right now. Bro, I got you.
His hands never left his hoodie pocket, making her wonder if he was holding onto some sort of weapon that he may have been planning to use on her. But thankfully, because of her swift reaction, we'll never truly know what he had planned that night. Days after the incident, police would arrest 36-year-old Angel Moses Rodriguez Gomez and charge him with stalking, second-degree assault, third and fourth-degree burglary, and malicious.
I don't want to say nothing like, you know, crazy, but why are they all Mexican? He's seen this shit in a movie. I said I could do that. You weren't here for the rice purity test, bro. Don't say
destruction
nothing,
of property. But surprisingly, shortly after his arrest, they allowed him to walk free on bail.
Racist as fuck. Cancel, unfollowed, blah.
And given that he lived in the same apartment complex as Hannah, and
No,
clearly
bro,
knew
why?
where she
Well,
lived,
no, I'm Mexican. I can say that, but like, why are they all Mexican, dude? Or like, you know, like of that kind of like, you know, they can be like somewhere like South American or something like that, you know. But like, why are they all like Hispanics? I guess.
This decision was incredibly controversial, with Hannah herself stating in an interview that.
Wait, what happened?
And given that he lived in the same
bail?
apartment complex as Hannah, and clearly knew where she lived, this decision was incredibly controversial, with Hannah herself stating in an interview that, I just don't think it's fair that he's walking freely right now, and I have to watch my back at every angle. Thankfully, the court's decision would not lead to any further escalations in the case, and today Angel no longer lives in the country, but the footage is incredibly chilling nonetheless, and it sent me down a rabbit hole of home invasion videos late the other
No, bro. I'm not gonna say that.
night.
Let's give him a mansion.
And here on YouTube, I came across countless unsettling examples. One such example comes from Saratov, Russia, and shows a woman moments after being awoken by the sound of knocking as she lay in bed in her apartment. It was around 4:30 a.m., which was...
Is this whole video just gonna be Hispanic people knocking on people's doors and they're already inside?
already unusual enough, But things became downright horrifying for her when she realized that the knocking wasn't coming from the door, it was coming from the window.
This one scared me. Wait, are they not all like the exact same story? Like they don't like connect? Or do they all connect? Cause like to me, this is just like random people just doing the exact same stuff. Find out. Alright.
Outside of her window was a man.
He's not Hispanic. Let's go. Why is he headbutting the door, bro?
Banging his head against the glass over and over again. And equally as disturbing, this woman's unit wasn't on the first floor. She was 2 stories up, and she didn't have a balcony.
How was he up there then?
Across the street, a neighbor filmed the incident as it happened, showing us that the man was standing on one of the building's gas pipes while he continued to strike the window. Eventually, these hits grew so forceful that the glass started to break, and his head began bleeding profusely, finally leading to the man stopping.
Yo, stay sober, dude. Like, don't do none of that, bro. Stay sober.
But not in the pursuit of entering the home.
Only. I'd be taking a fat bong rips right now, bro.
As he instead climbed to
What
a different
country
window.
is this, dude? What language is that? That's not English, is it?
As he instead climbed to a
there's
different
no way
window
that's
where he
English.
attempted to peel it open with his fingers. But by this point, police had already arrived on the scene, and eventually the man would be forced down and placed under arrest. When looking for an explanation as to why this man was doing this, it appears that he was under the influence of bath salts during the ordeal. But aside from this, I couldn't find any other information
Yo, Bear, you're right about the bath salts, I guess, bro.
about the man's identity, or whatever became of him. But I was able to find that this clip doesn't tell the entire story, as the woman behind the camera actually spoke to a local reporter and provided additional context to the ordeal, which only made the story more terrifying. At first, he knocked with his hands. Then he began to peck at me at the window with his head for an hour and a half without stopping. After that,
Bro just wanted to see her plants. Makes them crazy. Bro, I didn't know bath salts actually does that.
he started shouting my name to the whole yard. He was foaming at the mouth. His whole face was covered in blood, and he shouted that he wanted to talk to me, and he needed me. With the most terrifying part of the statement being that she had no idea who this man was, or how he could have even known her name. The idea of both of these intruder videos featuring people whom the victims had never even spoken to makes them especially unsettling, as it shows that you really never know who's watching and who might be obsessing over you. But incidents like
He's
this
just
can
that
be
excited
equally as
about
chilling
plants.
when the
Facts,
intruder
bro.
is
He
someone
just
that you
want-
do know.
Bro is so excited about it that he's trying to just force his head inside of the window to look at the plants.
Mohammed
He's not
Amana
in
was
it
a
for the girl.
26-year-old man living in Orafur, Sweden, and had been dating a woman named Maria.
Sweden,
But
okay,
after
this is
several
Sweden.
run-ins with the law, Mohammed's lifestyle just became too much for her, and she eventually decided to end the relationship. This caused Mohammed to become enraged, an emotion that was only further heightened when he discovered that she was staying with a male friend of theirs. And on the 25th of May, he would show up at his doorstep and ask to speak to Maria. Inside, the male friend and Maria both refused to let him in and told him to leave, and for a moment he did, though only
I think I got it. So he went to the neighbor's apartment and tried to just break in so he can like get in there or something like that.
temporarily, as he would return minutes later, this time armed with a ladder. And noticing what he was trying to do, the homeowner began recording on his cell phone.
En stege. En stege. Varför?
Vad gör du, Mohammed?
Får man gå in?
Vad gör du?
The man behind the camera asks, "What are you doing? Are you going to fight me?" To which Mohammed said no, he just wanted to speak to Maria.
Tror du kommer upp här? Tror du kommer upp här?
This one's different than the bath salts.
As he said
It
this,
says
his
he was on
demeanor
the
was
bath salts, though,
unsettlingly
wasn't
calm as he continues making his way up the ladder.
Mohammed, du kommer
Wait, no, he was
inte upp
enraged.
här.
Never mind.
Du kommer inte in i mitt hem. Du kommer inte
No, wait, he
in i
was on
mitt
bath
hem,
salts.
Mohammed.
With his demeanor being
even
so
remember
calm
anymore,
that the
bro.
cameraman couldn't tell if Mohammed was a threat or not, though it wouldn't take long for him to get his answer.
Du kommer inte in i mitt hem. Därför han högg mig med en kniv, Maria. Han högg mig med en kniv.
In an instant, Mohammed struck the cameraman, causing him to retreat into his room, closing the sliding glass door just in time for Mohammed to step on the balcony and brandish a large kitchen knife.
Holy.
Såg ni det? Du, han krossar glaset med en sten.
Still dazed by the attack, the man holding the camera retreated even further into the house.
Okay, my question is, you see him with a knife and you're still standing by the window? Like, you already have his face on camera, just bail.
While Maria had already run into the bathroom and locked the door behind her, a door that Mohammed would quickly rush over to.
Mohammed. Släpp in mig på dassen, han kommer in. Han kommer in, Maria. Mohammed, hugg du. Mohammed.
Yeah, low-key just shoot. Facts, bro. Literally anything is better.
Mohammed, du.
Wait, what?
And desperately tried to open, even trying to use his knife to turn the lock, as that lock was the only thing standing in the way of what he was there to do.
Why is he just recording this happen, bro? Go get a knife back and just defend yourself, bro. Yeah, well, welcome to the stream, bro.
What exactly that was is unknown, as police would manage to arrive on the scene within minutes of this footage being taken, where they would arrest Mohammed before he was able to get to Maria. But it's clear based on the fact that he had a weapon on him and his desperate attempt to breach the house that he didn't just want to have
he would have sent him to the shadow realm immediately, bro. He would have been in hell the moment he went on the ladder.
Conversation. In the end, the man filming was left with only minor cuts. Mohammed was sentenced to 2 years in prison, as well as a 10-year ban from the country of Sweden, leaving us with 3 haunting videos.
A 10-year ban from that? Wow, bro, Sweden, bro, we need to be more like Sweden, bro. You commit a crime, you get banned, bro.
3 disturbed intruders,
need to be
whose
like
true
that.
intentions will thankfully never be known.
Oh, they're not the same guy, okay. I thought they were both the same dude.
It's the spookiest time of the year, a time when the consumption of horror movies and dark YouTube videos reaches its peak. But while fun in the moment, the true terror of consuming this content often occurs long after the credits roll, when you close your eyes to go to sleep, only to feel the sickening feeling of paranoia. Every creak in your home is sending a jolt of panic throughout your body, making you wonder if someone or
Wait,
something
who's Joshua Block?
is inside your house. I was just like you once. Consuming creepy content is my livelihood, and as a result, I've spent countless sleepless nights feeling uneasy within my own home. Never quite feeling safe and secure. Spent countless sleepless nights feeling uneasy within my own home. Never quite feeling safe and secure. Always wondering if something was lurking around me. Until I realized that the reason I didn't feel secure was because I wasn't. The only thing standing between me and the outside world was a simple lock. And I knew it was time for a change, with that change finally coming when I partnered with this video sponsor, SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is a home security system that you can control safe, like SimpliSafe.
Video blog 1, the story of Noah Harpham.
Alright, hey folks, this is Noah, getting my blog live. Trucks and trucks and lots of trucks.
This is the very first footage that Noah Harpham would post to YouTube. After years of having a channel, Noah finally decided to give uploading a try, posting this inaugural video to a self-titled channel on October 29th, 2015, titling it
down video? Wait, what you mean? Like turn the audio down? Is it too loud? What the fuck is the music? Wait, what music? What music are you talking about? I don't hear any music. There shouldn't be any music. Wait, what? Yeah, there's no music. What are you talking about? The guy was listening. Oh. He was?
After years of having a channel, Noah finally decided to give that.
Trucks and trucks and lots of
After years of having a channel, Noah finally decided to give uploading a try, posting this inaugural video to a self-titled channel on October 29th, 2015.
Wait, but what do you mean turn down video? Like make it quieter? Is it too loud? Turn desktop audio. Or okay, here I'll turn down the see audio. I'll turn it down a little bit then.
Titling it 102915, video blog number 1, and introducing himself to the platform with a simple "Hello world" in the description.
No, but I did want to dissect just the beginning of a sermon given by Pastor Bill, a guy that my dad has been following, taking ideas from for 10 years at least. He and his family, 2 kids.
In the video, Harpham...
Bro, who makes YouTube videos like this? Like, I genuinely never actually seen a YouTube video like
paces
that.
throughout his home and discusses a priest named Pastor Bill, whom he believed was influencing his father and his family, and clearly not in a good way.
I've been ignorant of it for a long time, so I wanted to look at it, and I challenged him just to look at 15 minutes of this sermon.
Though he gives no context as to who this pastor is, only mentioning that he had been ignorant of the situation for a while, and that this video was his response after trying to expose the truth to his father.
Yes,
Been waiting, and haven't heard anything. So I was going to just post my reply, and I guess that's how I'll start my blog.
Again, what this truth is unclear, as the lack of information makes this video a confusing watch.
So he made a video of him talking about the priest, or the pastor, or whatever.
And ultimately, it tells us very little about who
It's
Noah
a minute
was,
and
let
a
alone the
second.
other people he was discussing. But he did end the clip by making it clear that this was only the beginning of what would be a reoccurring blog series that would showcase just him, his thoughts, and his camera.
The blog is just going to be me with a video camera, and that'll be it. We'll see what happens.
But before those uploads would come, Noah had pinned a website in his description that directed users to a blog post written by him that same day, titled, "Is my dad in a cult? Even worse, is it satanic?" Throughout the writing,
Bro, what kind of church are you going to? Like, how do you even question that? Like, it should be pretty obvious if you're going to a church like that, or like a pastor or whatever. It should be pretty
loosely
obvious.
provides additional context for his video, as he breaks down a sermon given by Pastor Bill, who is shown to be Bill Johnson, a well-known preacher from the Bethel Church in Redding, California, who had garnered a large following online. And despite the sermon being over an hour long, Harpham goes through it point by point, critiquing everything that he said. And the more he typed, the more angry he got. And the more angry he got, the more nonsensical his words became. I'm attempting to present a case that shows the leader of this prestigious institution, along with a select group of rulers, are using mind control techniques to poison and confuse legions of useful idiots that slave away to keep the institution humming along, and that this man, Pastor Bill Johnson, and his ruling caste are using mind control to keep people imbalanced and ignorant, in a state of perpetual...
So they're accusing him of using some kind of mind control thing. Like some, I guess that's like some cult type of thing, but like... Is this like an accusation, or is this like true?
While they themselves are
Top 3
profiting
worst
immensely
pains.
in this material.
Top 3 worst pains: 3 breakup, 2 stubbing your toe, 1 pimple on your
world.
Nah, bro, that's
The
awful.
blog gives us a peek behind the curtain of the man shown in this video, a man who seems to be clearly mentally unwell, paranoid, and very angry, with the post making it clear that the purpose of Noah's content was to bring his pastor down, and video blog number 1 was supposed to be just the start. However, there would never be a video blog number 2, as just 2 days after posting this video,
consistency.
Noah's life would take a drastic turn.
Oh, what happened?
Colorado Springs 911, what's the exact location of your emergency?
It's at...
Repeat that one more time for me and make sure I have it correct.
Well, it's across the street from me. I'm calling from my address.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Well, there's a guy walking around with like 2 cans of gasoline or something, 2 small cans.
Like Jerry
and a
cans?
like a rifle. It was black, and it had...
He's trying to set something on fire. 100% what it is.
Strap around it. He's walking up to doors and stuff.
At 8:35 a.m. on Halloween morning, a woman named Naomi Bettis called 911 after witnessing a suspicious man walking around her neighborhood in Colorado Springs, as she watched him carrying several cans of gas, as well as an AR.
Oh boy, when was this made?
Colorado Springs, as she watched him carrying several cans of gas.
I think I've been to that neighborhood
as well as
before.
an AR-15 that was hung over his shoulder. She didn't know it at the time, but this man was her neighbor, Noah Harpham.
And then I seen that he walked into the building, and the glass window at that business is broke.
And that's a business? What's the name of the business?
I have no idea, but I just know it's, I don't know if it's a fake gun, a BB gun, but it looks pretty scary.
As the call progresses, Naomi explains that she had watched him enter a nearby business, where one of the windows appeared to have been broken. She wasn't sure if anything illegal had happened at this point, but she was convinced that Noah was up to something sinister, which based on what he had in his possession, seemed to be the only logical conclusion.
Bro has a blue AR from Fortnite. Sorry.
However, this concern wasn't felt by everyone.
Okay. And you said it looked like a long gun, correct? Like a rifle?
Yes. Uh-huh.
Well, it is an open carry state, so he can have a weapon with him or walking around with it, but of course having those gas cans, it does seem pretty suspicious, so we're going to keep the call going for that.
Okay, and the window's broken to that business downstairs, so...
Right, and you said he's now upstairs, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And are you or anyone else in immediate danger?
Is the business where, like, the supposed cult is? Because if so, then this makes sense. Like, I understand what he's doing. I know it makes sense, but this is just some random business. I was like, what are you doing, bro?
Okay.
As the operator seemingly brushed aside the incident, stating that she was only keeping the call going because the gas cans could be suspicious. However, even with that, the report still wasn't taken seriously, as the dispatcher hung up on her shortly after, before dispatching one single officer to the scene, an officer that never even made it there, as just moments later he was called off and sent to what was deemed to be a more pressing scene at the local senior center. Naomi's concerns were completely ignored, but despite this, she continued to watch out her window, waiting to see what Noah would do next. 4 minutes after her call with police ended, and 10 minutes...
I feel like this would be way more important than whatever's going on at a senior home, bro. Like, what's going on, a bar fight in a senior home or something like that? Like, that just doesn't happen, like, unless someone fell. But you don't call the police for that. You just call, like, the fire department and, like, the ambulance. Grapple? Wait, what?
minutes after first reporting
Gramps shit is bad.
Noah's behavior, Naomi would dial
the
911
police have
once
to get
again.
involved.
Only this time, her demeanor was far different.
Yeah, she called again.
I just called a few minutes ago, and the guy came back out, and he fired a gun at somebody, and he's laying on the street dead. Oh my God. You sent an ambulance too.
Naomi's worst fears had come true, as she frantically told dispatch that the man carrying the gun had just shot and killed
And it's crazy because they literally could have saved that dude's life if the police officer wasn't like, oh yeah, that's more important.
someone outside of her home.
Oh my God.
Okay, calm down, okay? Stay with me. I'm just putting that into the call. Is anyone in immediate danger?
No, that I can see or think. No.
In response, the operator bizarrely asks if anyone else is in danger, but Naomi, likely in a state of shock, answers no, before immediately realizing that Noah was heading in the direction of Platt Avenue, which was known to be a busier neighborhood.
Maybe on Platt Avenue there might be people in danger.
Naomi, I need the suspect's description. Do you know his name?
No, I don't.
Okay, is he white, black, Hispanic, Asian?
He's white, and he's got long curly hair coming out of his cap.
She desperately tried to relay that more people were likely in harm's way, only to be immediately...
So, he's on his way with... Wait, does he still have the gas cans, though?
Right,
or not the
just
gas,
seconds
the
later.
jerry cans or whatever?
I think, yeah, there's people outside that might be in danger up on Platt.
Okay.
Oh, I just heard another gun fire. Oh my God.
When she hears more gunshots, prompting the operator to once again ask...
Yeah, they need to call an ambulance or something right away.
Okay. Is anyone in immediate danger?
You just asked
that.
that.
Up on Platt, maybe.
All right, I am sending the paramedics to help you now. Stay on the line, and I'll tell you exactly what to do next, okay?
Okay.
It was only then that the operator would tell Naomi that police and medical personnel were finally being dispatched to the scene.
Yo, some police, like, dispatchers or whatever are complete idiots, bro. Like, some of them don't know what they're doing. Alright, I said it, but, like...
But by this point, it
it's
was
true,
far too
dude.
late.
Like, they hear stuff like
In the
this,
moments after
and, like,
Naomi had
they
made
don't
her
take
first
half of this
911
serious,
call,
bro.
Noah Harpham would first attempt to light his house on fire using the 2 cans of gasoline. Though this, however, failed
Sure, light
and
his
caused
own
him to
place on
quickly
fire.
shift his focus. Noah instead stepped outside and brandished his rifle, immediately pointing it directly at Andrew Mayers, who had been riding his bike in the neighborhood. And after seeing the gun, the man stopped and begged him not to shoot, to which Noah responded by pulling the trigger multiple times, killing him instantly, with Andrew Myers being the man that Naomi had seen laying dead on the street. From there, Noah began walking up the street where he would...
Dude didn't even do nothing, bro. He's just some dude just on the bike,
But
just
eventually
chilling.
see two women sitting on the porch of a sobriety center,
This
where
takes
local
place
women
in
went to get help with their
2015.
drug and alcohol addictions. And upon noticing them,
2015.
he immediately started shooting, striking and killing both Christina Galela and Jennifer Vasquez. Noah walked for over a mile after this before the police finally caught up with him. And when they called out for him to stop walking, Noah turned and immediately opened fire, leading to a massive shootout.
Of course, bro. Like, not even surprised.
When the smoke cleared, the only one struck had been Noah, who was lying dead on the pavement, marking the end of his killing spree.
Could have all been, yeah, exactly, bro. This all could have been avoided.
Even met any of the 3 people he killed that day. They were all total strangers, leaving the question, why had he done it? Well, even today, there's still no clear motive, with this appearing to be a completely random and senseless act. But looking at his final and only posts online, Noah was clearly very angry and seemed to be mentally unwell, which was corroborated by testimony from his parents, as they later claimed that he had anger issues and suffered from drug addiction and bipolar disorder. But what's so unusual about this to me was that this video was published just 2 days before the killings, and it was clearly not meant to be a one-off post. It was something that he seemed genuinely excited to continue, yet not even 48 hours later, he resorted to this. What happened in that time frame may never be known, but the effects of it will last forever. And I can't help but wonder how differently this all could have gone if that initial 911 operator had just taken Naomi's report seriously. Noah's spree didn't start for a full 10 minutes after she started that call.
See, dude, you would have been on the phone and had the police there ready, waiting for him. This could have all been
Which would have
avoided,
been more than
but
enough
no.
time for police to intervene. But instead, Noah was given all the time he needed to end 3 innocent lives.
Idiots, bro.
It wasn't an attraction for the faint of heart. Standing over 1,300 feet above the ground, the Deoghar ropeway was built to take tourists up and down the Trikut mountain in Jharkhand, India. It was the tallest cableway in the entire country, offering an unparalleled view of Deoghar and the picturesque landscape around it. Because of this, videos have long since been posted on YouTube showing just how dramatic of a ride this truly is, with one such video being recorded on April 10th, 2022.
Where does this thing even take you to? Do you like scary vids? I mean, sometimes, not like all the time, though.
That day, a woman and her family had been filming their adventure.
Like, if we do this, then I probably won't do it like next stream, but maybe like another stream after, like, you know, like space it out, you know?
Mountain, and we're now filming a first-person view of the descent back down. It wasn't the kind of place for anyone with a fear of heights, and the loud sounds of the car passing the support towers only added to the anxiety of the trip. But the group filming this all remained relatively calm, quietly conversing to themselves, seemingly unfazed by the spectacular height.
Yeah, but I don't really mind them. Same thing with horror games.
Even enjoying it. A feeling that wouldn't last.
Oh, is it gonna fall? Someone crazy is probably cutting it.
Without any warning, the car was met with a massive force, sending the occupants and the camera to the floor, causing the footage to go dark. In that moment, one of the ropeway's axles had dislodged, causing a failure.
Not gonna lie, I'm finna join on my alt account.
Failure on the pulley system, which resulted in 2 carts crashing into each other, and the rest coming to a sudden and violent halt. The impact was brutal, but somewhat surprisingly, the footage continued. Showing just enough to reveal that the ropeway and the cabin these people were in were both still intact, before the recording came to an end. This group had survived the impact, but the nightmare was far from over. News of the collision quickly spread throughout the region, leading to the scene being flooded with rescuers and news crews alike, with everyone trying to figure out what exactly was happening, and the
so it did
initial
fall.
prognosis was grim. In the impact, one man in a separate car had been killed, and many others were left injured. And making matters worse, due to the broken axle, the ropeway was now no longer operational, meaning that the 70+ people spread throughout the various cars were now stuck, some of whom were
Bro, that's like my biggest fear for like any of these like long, like tall rides, bro. It's like one of them falling or like it just stops working.
Still suspended over 1,000 feet in the air.
Because like then how are you gonna eat a meat mountain from Arby's?
Just given the height of the ropeway alone. And ultimately, it was determined that the Indian Air Force would utilize their special top-of-the-line helicopters to fly over the cars and lower down ropes with harnesses attached to them for survivors, who then would strap themselves in and be hoisted up to the helicopter above using an electronic winch. It took hours for them to even make their first attempt, before finally trying their approach on a middle-aged man, who slid on his rescue strap and was then slowly pulled up towards safety.
So much can go wrong like that, bro. Those helicopter, like whatever the things are that like spin, that thing cuts the ropes, everyone's gone, bro.
The footage of this is horrifying. These people were already over 1,000 feet in the air when their cars got stuck, and now they were being lifted even higher, tethered only by a single rope and a safety harness. Worst of all, it was a particularly windy day, which was made worse by the swirling of the helicopter blades, a combination that caused the man to start swinging wildly from side to side as he hung onto the rope.
But he's still being pulled up though. Yeah, he made it back up.
It was a grueling journey up, but finally the man reached the aircraft, and with safety just a few feet away, he instinctively reached his arms above his head in an attempt to grab onto the helicopter, a decision that would have disastrous effect.
Oh, bro. Okay, how could this go bad? Wait, did he have to hold the rope the entire time?
As he did so, his harness slid upwards and was pulled over his shoulders, and then over his arms, before eventually landing in his hands, meaning the only thing left holding him up was his own grip, as he clung to the now useless harness.
Oh no.
For a full minute he dangled there, just inches away from rescue. Meanwhile, the rescue crew searched the craft for something they could use to safely hoist him in, but before they got the chance...
Just grab him, dude.
The man slipped out of his harness, momentarily catching himself on the side of the helicopter itself, but by this point, his strength was gone.
It's too late,
Seconds later,
yeah.
his grip would fail for good. Causing him to plummet approximately 2,000 feet to the ground below, killing him instantly.
Damn, bro. A lot of, like, it's not really scary, it's just, like, human error, bro. Like, so easy to just avoid this.
For those waiting to be rescued, the sight was especially horrific, as they watched the man who they thought had made it to safety fall to the ground right in front of them. The fear they must have felt knowing that soon it would be their turn is unimaginable. After this, the rescue crews began making tweaks to their operation, which started to lead to a few attempts going off without a hitch. But the entire process was incredibly slow, as a full 24 hours would pass before 60-year-old Shubha Devi would finally get her chance to be removed from the car. And as she started her ascent up to the helicopter...
So we have a 60-year-old now, and she's probably gonna fall.
The wind also caused her to start swinging wildly. So wildly, in fact, that the winch used to lift her suddenly stopped working, leaving her hanging there, only moving side to side rather than up towards safety. As she hung there, rescuers on the helicopter frantically tried to figure out what the problem with the winch was. But before they could ever get their answer, the rope suddenly snapped, causing her to free fall to the ground below. It came without any sort of warning, and from what I can find online, there isn't a definitive answer as to how this happened. But either way, it resulted in Shubha's tragic death. It took a total of 48 hours for the last of the survivors to be rescued and finally brought to safety, an unimaginable amount of time in an unimaginable position, with survivors having to watch 2 people fall to their deaths before—
Damn, bro. More sad than— yeah, it's more sad than scary,
unsure
bro.
if they too were going to meet the
That's
same
kind of scary in the
fate.
beginning, but now it's just sad.
Since its release, the footage has sparked some debate online, as the media actually hailed this as an impressive and even successful rescue operation for the Indian Air Force, while others have hit back on this, as both incidents seem to have been entirely preventable, with more people dying from the rescue than the accident itself. Though ultimately, there were no repercussions for the rescue crew, with the only punishments being dished out to the operating company DRIL, which was accused of not properly maintaining the ropeway and not following proper safety protocols.
Yeah,
it was even
makes
alleged
sense.
that when the initial crash happened—
It's like, it's not really like the military's fault. Like, that's kind of like the people that made the rope and like the people that like constructed the plane or whatever.
the
Like,
people
not the plane,
operating the
helicopter.
ropeway at the time actually fled the scene and never even called authorities, but I'm not sure if this was ever actually proven. DRIL was fined over $1 million and has since been blacklisted from operating ropeways for 5 years, while the families of the deceased were given around $33,000 in compensation. Currently, there are plans to repair and reopen the ropeway, though at this point, no official date has been given for the reopening.
Yeah, I don't even know what the point is of like that entire like ride or whatever. All right. Now we got fucked up. Yeah, I know, dude. Like that's just like, it's more sad. WVid, yeah, WVid. Let me know if y'all want more videos to react to, and yeah, like and subscribe, leave a comment, and yeah.